Welcome back. Today is the day where we start thinking about real time travel shenanigans. Woohoo! Thought experiment time. So imagine this. You're sitting, watching some guy's YouTube video, and suddenly you hear knocking from inside your closet. You cautiously edge closer, and suddenly yourself jumps out of the closet, and the other you's like, "I'm you from the future. Here are all the blueprints to making a time machine. Have fun, see ya." And then poosh, your future self jumps back into the closet, leaving behind a folder full of diagrams. You ponder over the papers and realize it could work. And a month later, you've built yourself a time machine in your closet. Huzzah! But then you realize someone has to give your past self those blueprints. So you take the folder with you, travel a month back in the past, knock the door, jump out, give your past self the blueprints, jump back in, and travel back to your time. All's good now, right? Here's what we call a stable time loop. Why is it a loop? Well, in every perspective, you travel back in time once, making a loop of time. Why is it stable? Because no problems arise from this time travel. We'll look into paradoxes soon. Everything is handy-dandy. But stable time loops are deceptively simple. If you think carefully about them, they raise questions about causality and determinism. For example, where did the blueprints come from? From your future self, of course, but your future self got it from his or her future self, and so on and so forth. A better question might be, where did the blueprints originate? And here, our thought experiment fails to come up with an answer. This is the problem of causality. There never was a cause for the blueprints, because the cause for the blueprints is the blueprints itself. Another reason why this is a time loop. If the cause is the effect, then our understanding of causality becomes muddled. What really causes things to happen? Effects no longer have to occur chronologically after their causes. So can we really use time to understand how things happen at all? This raises yet another issue, the issue of determinism. When we lose track of cause and effect, we lose in the argument for free will. Think about it. Did you really have a choice to use your time machine, go back in the past and give yourself those blueprints? You already remember it happening to you. You remember your future self giving you those blueprints a month ago, and so you have to inevitably go back and give them to your past self, right? So do you really have any free will? Are the actions you perform when you travel back in time predetermined? If so, does that make life predetermined? Confusing? Let's think to an example that I hope most of you know. Warning, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban spoilers ahead. Everyone's read or seen The Prisoner of Azkaban, right? Let's recall. A gajillion Dementors are attacking Harry at the lake, and he's like, "Please, I'm too young to die." But he can't cast a Patronus in time, and then pshoo, a huge Patronus comes and saves him, and Harry's like, "Whoa, is that my daddy?" And we later learn that it's Harry's future self. He travels back in time to cast that Patronus and save himself. But what if he never went back and saved himself? Clearly, this isn't possible. He must have saved himself. He remembers it happening. It's the same problem with free will, right? And it's the same with Sirius Black escaping Azkaban and all the other time travel in the book. I hope you're beginning to see why time travel is so fascinating to me. I'd like to hear your interpretation of these problems in the comments, but we're not close to exploring all the ideas time travel puts forward. We'll talk about this more in a future video. It turns out that we need to think back to our timeline. If we could have multiple timelines, then perhaps the problem is solved.